Put a smile on your face. When you're
Good morning, viewers, and welcome back. It is 7:16 a.m. Welcome back to the Tobago Updates morning show, coming to you here live from the Port Mall in Scarborough, Tobago. Yes, viewers, at this point we head on into our first segment here this morning. We are chatting with Darren Henry, Assistant Conservator of Forests, and this today is also where we recognize the International Day of the Forest 2023. And we're looking forward to these discussions as we also speak to the annual cleanup campaign. Good morning to you and welcome.
Good morning, Mr. Skeeter, and thank you very much for having me here.
All right, as we get the conversation started, so today is actually twofold in terms of our recognition. It's World Down Syndrome Day, Rock Your Socks, and it's also International Day of the Forest. Yes, and I see, yes, folks, he's rocking his socks as well. All right, so let's get started as we speak to International Day of the Forest. And I want you to remind us again of the significance of this day as one of the international days recognized.
Okay, so World International Day of the Forest, or International Day of the Forest, began in 2012, whereby the United Nations General Assembly would have designated that particular day as World Day of the Forest. And it's basically to create awareness among the populace, among countries, among people about the important role of forests, or the important role that forests play in our lives and livelihood to people who utilize the resources.
So tell us a little bit about the tie-in. As Assistant Conservator of Forests and your unit or your section or department, what role does it play in terms of within the Tobago context as part of the division's effort in preserving, protecting, or anything of the sort?
Well, the truth is that forest is the mainstay of the environment. Without a forest, we don't have an environment, basically. So the forest, some people might watch it as bush or insignificant, but forest is the mainstay of the environment, is the main part of the environment. And our role, we are governed underneath some legislation: the Forest Act, the Wildlife Conservation and Wildlife Act, the Sawmill Act, Furniture Shops, Litter Act, and also the Pongs Act. So those are basically 6 acts that govern us in terms of assisting us with our management of the forest resources on the island. But we are small in staff and we can't do it our own. So we have partners that we partner with, we have NGOs that we partner with, and we have even individuals who will contribute and give us ideas. And we could, once it's good, we take it into consideration and help develop and properly manage and monitor the forest resources on the island.
Just before we dive into the annual cleanup efforts that's taking place this year, you have been involved in this area for a number of years.
Yes.
Would you say that you are seeing slow progress, you're seeing great progress in terms of these efforts to really have a greater level of respect for our environment?
I have seen over the years I've been here for about 24 years, there's an improvement or increase in the awareness about the population. We've seen a change in behavior of some person, but there are others, a minor segment, who are basically bent on doing their own thing or basically breaching the regulations. But in terms of, we have been doing our education drives, we have been doing our promotion. For example, here is a form of public awareness. We have been doing that. We have been going out to the schools, taking schools to wetland and rainforest. So I've seen some improvement in the behavior. And we have a number of people who, when things happen, they will call us. We call them confidential informers, CIs, confidential informers, who inform us of certain things, because a number of persons out there don't like what's happening, especially when season is closed or somebody's trying to thief a log from state land, etc. People will call us.
So there's a method to facilitate communicating that kind of information. If you have a concern, you want to remind us or share, what's the method? How do persons share that information with you, as you mentioned, CIs?
Well, the truth is that I told the staff that you go out there, you interact with people, and you build your own confidential informers. I don't want to know who is your confidential informer, because it's something that you have to have close to your heart, and it's a relationship that you build, and that people, you have to build that level of trust, because if you breach people trust, they would not give you the information. I have a lot of CIs. I would not share who my CIs are, and I would have informed the officers, if you have your CIs or confidential informers, I don't want to know who your confidential informers are. Basically, you get the information, we bring it, we check it out, if it's credible, and we act upon it, basically.
So yes, you in public, you have an opportunity to be a part of this process as well, in terms of bringing forward that information. So we have the annual cleanup campaign. Tell us a little bit about this initiative.
Well, basically, the initiative started about, I would say, about 7 to 10 years ago, where we found that driving along the roadway in the Mainridge Forest Reserve, people fly tip a lot. Fly tip, you basically drive through and you throw your debris, your glass out of the window. So we find that was increasing. So we started to clean up. I remember one year we got like about from the sign at Bloody Bay to the sign at Roxbury entrance and exit of the forest reserve, we got like about close to 40, 50 bags of rubbish we picked up. So we decided to do that this year as is an annual. We try to do it once a year. We partner with the Tour Guide Association, other NGOs. So we basically go up and we walk the entire reserve, basically, and picking up rubbish on the side of the road to make the place clean as it should be. So we want people not to litter. There are bins, keep your rubbish in your car, but people are really challenging. And we have noticed that being field officers outside is an increase in illegal dump sites throughout the island, basically. Washing machine all over the place, white waste all over the place. So I'm not too sure what's really going on. Maybe we have to do more education along with public health to bring greater awareness. So that's basically our activity for today. We go to the forest reserve. It probably would have started at 6 a.m. I'm here. I had to go and join them after.
Yes.
So we walk in the entire reserve. It's exercise, it's working, but it's work exercise. We walk in for that entire stretch, maybe about 3-4 miles through the reserve and cleaning up the reserve, all debris along the roadway. And in the
Who are
forest
some of the entities you said that you have also partnered with? Because from what I gather, this is not just exclusively a division initiative.
No. We normally work with a lot of NGOs. I think CPEP is on board this year, and obviously the Bloody Bay Nature tour guides. They are on board. Some of the tour guides and some of the other NGOs and some of the other departments are on board with this cleanup.
Would you say some of the persons, just as you mentioned, in terms of the tour guides and so, who frequent the area during the course of the year for their very own survival or business or raising an honest day's pay, that it helps in some way, form or fashion for them to also assist through the year based on the persons that they may bring to this area, trying to ensure that they don't litter per se?
Yeah, well, the tour guides are on board. They know the important role of the forest in terms of their life and livelihoods, and they sometimes are our first eyes up there because some of them are up there 7 days a week. So they are some of our first eyes. If you have people who want to just go and camp in the forest or doing research, because our reserve, we charge a fee. There's a policy in the Tobago Assembly that we charge a fee for foreigners to come here to do research, and the fact that when they're doing their research, the officers are allowed to go with them to build capacity, and then a report is lodged within the Tobago House of Assembly, basically. So they pay a fee of $100 US, basically, for foreign universities to come to do research. Still minimal, but it will go a long way. It builds capacity, etc.
And there's definitely that opportunity for learning.
Yeah.
Again, the significance, we've grown up over the years hearing of the significance of the main ridge as our forest reserve and so on. Again, just remind our viewers and listeners about.
So the main ridge was strategically established in 1765. Actually, that is when it was set aside. But this politician, I think it was Jennings is his name, he would have fought for 11 years until 1776 when the actual law was proclaimed on the 13th of April. So this year on the 13th of April, the Forest Reserve will be 247 years old, the oldest forest reserve in the Western Hemisphere, the first ever conservation effort globally on this small piece of real estate. That is why we have to cherish it, have to keep it, because without that forest reserve, our beaches, our life and livelihood in the rural communities, the waterfalls would have all been disrupted. Because think about Tobago, we probably have about 2/3 of the island under forest cover. Think about it not having that forest cover, the kind of environmental impacts, and the forest reserve really provide ecosystem services, carbon sequestration, purification of the atmosphere, production of oxygen, water production, water retention, infiltration, and all medicine and all those kind of things. And we have a number of plants, a number of things that probably are not yet discovered within there, because some areas are very, very challenging to get to. And I think that is one of the reasons why it's still in good stead. And by the way, most of the forest cover on state land is in really good condition because the policy is there is no sale of state lumber on state land. That moratorium was established in 1990. So the only way we sell trees on state land is if work's going to do a road, Tech running lines, or a tree is dead or dying, people may write and we'll then look at it and sell it. So there's a moratorium on no sales of tree on state land in Tobago since 1990 to now.
So, as you mentioned, works doing a road. We know of the recent scenario of venturing in there. Were you a part of that contingent?
No, no, Mr. Skeet, I was not a part of that contingent.
Your thoughts in relation to that has to be a very kind of cautious undertaking. Given your passion and what you have just highlighted, there's a number of very specifics in relation to the area.
So that area is very steep. There's already an established road that cuts through the reserve. That's in Mount St. George Castle Road. The road is basically there still. If you're cutting a new road from Palatavia to Goldsboro, my book, if I had my say, that would be a personal. I would say no, because of the amount of environmental degradation will occur, fragmentation of the ecosystem, lots of environmental issues. Why build a new road and there's a base for one there already, basically? Tobago is small, and from Palatavia to Goldsboro, 45 minutes drive or hour drive. I mean, that is my personal opinion. But, we are public officers, and we are here to serve the public. So, and if the policymakers make the policy, we are here to carry it out, basically. That's how
Certainly.
it works.
Well, there's definitely that need for the collective input because in that area, it would appear that a number of things could automatically be affected.
Yeah, the truth is, I'm of the opinion that if they do, I think the island will take a lot of international licks, for want of better words, for constructing that road through the reserve.
All right. So as we prepare to wrap this morning's interview, any other key areas that you'd like to highlight or to remind our viewers?
As part of it, also the celebration is that also on the 30th of March, the division, along with the Tobago Reforestation and Watershed Rehabilitation Project, we're having the Main Ridge Fitness Challenge as a run-walk cycle from Roxborough, St. Grace Stadium to Bloody Bay, either the beach facility or the recreation ground. So it's divided into 3 segments. We have the 5K, which starts at the orientation, run and walk prizes or hampers for the oldest person, male and female, the youngest person, male and female, and then you have the 15K run and walk from Roxborough to Bloody Bay, and also you have the cycle, which is the 20K, which loops around the Argyle waterfall area and come back to Roxborough to Bloody Bay, and that's on the 30th. And this project was really initiated out of the ideas of the President Secretary when she worked, because she was an officer with us in the division. So when we did that in 2019, we had, during the work day, it was a work day, we had 162 or 63 persons participated. So the following year, we expected a bigger turnout, but then Mr. COVID came.
Yes.
And COVID crushed everything. So we are hoping for people to come out and participate. There's the theme for this year's International Day of the Forest is Forest and Health. There's a clear link between health of the forest and health of the people on the island. And also there's a clear link between recreation and health, basically. So forests provide a number of recreation opportunities. So we're really encouraging people to come out. I think thus far I have about maybe over 100 persons would have registered for the event, maybe 130 thereabout also. So we still want people to come out and register. You have group packages, I think 8 to 10 person, $100, 8 to 10 person, 150 a person. And we have a number of packages for people to come out. It's not too expensive. Come out and enjoy and walk through the reserve. There are a number of persons here in Tobago who have never been inside the forest reserve. Most people drive through. And if you feel the microclimate on the outside, on the road, you could think about what will happen on the inside. Have you ever been to the forest reserve?
I love it when I
When last have you been there?
It's been a little while. I would have probably been in last year. I did it a lot during COVID.
Good.
When you just wanted to be outside, but you didn't want to be around many persons, so you head out on the roadways with the family and so on. But I love the temperature. Anybody here will tell you that kind of cool and so on. So that takes place when on Thursday the 30th?
On Thursday the 30th. That's the Spiritual Baptist Liberation Holidays.
Right,
Holidays, so folks come out. You got your package already, Mr. Ski?
Not as yet. So you see, you just got me.
Group prizes,
you just got me excited.
Yes, so come out.
For the benefit of our viewers and listeners, where can they connect to register or to get more information?
At the division, and also the reforestation will have the reforestation website.
All right. Okay, good. So they can connect with the division or the reforestation website, and we see the actual information is up on the annual cleanup campaign, and that's this morning. That would have started at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
And there is also the opportunity for persons to participate in the Main Ridge Challenge, and that happens on next week, Thursday, the 30th of March.
So we want people to come up and register. This is guests say them anytime between 5:30 and 6 a.m. So we can start probably by about 6:30, 6:45 and have the race off basically.
So you know when you mention secretary, let me call out Secretary Natisha Charles Pantin. When you mentioned she would have been instrumental even before becoming secretary. People are bringing out this idea. We can look forward to seeing Secretary Pantin as well. And Assistant Secretary Tate, I must be putting them on spot now.
Yeah, I think there will be there. I mean, I am hoping that they should have probably maybe have a nice little package for all the secretaries and administrators of the
You have to call them out, you know. You have to call them out.
Give them what you call it, bragging rights to successfully do the walk or half or walk or 5K or something. Because, you know, we really need to be, we socialize by eating a lot, harvest, birthday, liquor, birthday lime. So I am not a medical person, but here in people are hypertension and diabetes are on the rise. So this is a form of recreate. You know, we need to come out and recreate some more, walk a bit more, walk in the forest, not just on the road, but walk. You know, and we really want to encourage our people to study park is our main landfill, utilize it. Sometimes people pay persons to carry debris to study park. They find study park too far, they drop it in Corland, or they carry it down in Cove, or they carry it in remote places. So we really have to step up our game in terms of, let's look out for our island. We have a tourism product here. We can't be littering all over the place and throwing garbage. It's not healthy. It's not good for our whole economic development. So you want people when you're passing through the rainforest, don't throw your litter out the window. Keep it in your car. You go home, you clean out your car. If you don't have the time to clean out your vehicle, pay a guy $50 to clean out your vehicle, or here look at Grand Train and Train clean out the vehicle rather than throwing it outside, because it all adds bad for our tourism sector. Because the Main Ridge people come here to see the Main Ridge Forest Reserve. That alone is a marketing tool, and it's linked to tourism basically, and we really need to protect it and protect our environment and conserve our environment as best as possible.
All right, thank you very much there, Darren Henry, Assistant Conservator of the Forest, really bringing us the information here this morning. Today is International Day of the Forest, folks, and just a reminder, the official annual cleanup would have started heading on into the Main Ridge from 6 a.m. this morning. And in addition to that activity happening today as part of the annual cleanup campaign, you also have the opportunity to register for the Main Ridge Challenge that takes place next week, Thursday. And they're certainly calling on each and every one of you to come out and to register to participate. Feel free to connect with the division located down there at Milshirv. And you can also connect with them, whether it be via social media or so, to get additional information. Let's head on out. I like the idea that it's a twofold opportunity. You get to learn or to be reminded of something in relation to the Main Ridge if you haven't been there for a very long time. And you also get in the exercise while committing to this very good cause. All right, so thank you so much there for joining us on set and bringing this information. Viewers, we want to thank each and every one of you joining us via TV, those of you listening in on the radio this morning, and those of you joining us online. This is your opportunity to share the live, share the live, share the live.